Hello and welcome to AN24 News. Here are the headlines. Federal government closes air and land border. FG moves to classify COVID-19 cases in isolation centers. And Europe evacuates its nationals from Nigeria. These and many more after the break. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the immediate closure of international airports and borders for 4 weeks. The directive was issued on Thursday as part of measures by the federal government to curtail the spread of coronavirus in the country. Meanwhile, Nigeria cases of the virus rose to 65 on Thursday evening as the Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) announced 14 new cases of the virus. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, via the official Twitter handle, said 14 new cases of COVID-19 had been confirmed in Nigeria, 1 in the Federal Capital Territory, 1 in Bauchi State, and 12 in Lagos. This brings the total number of confirmed cases to 65, with 3 discharged and 1 death. The Lagos State House of Assembly on Wednesday passed the Emergency Coronavirus Bill 2020. The emergency bill, if signed into law, will give Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu the legislative concurrence to access and utilize funds required to curtail the coronavirus disease and enforce compliance to regulations. The bill authorizes the governor to spend a kick-off expenditure not more than 20 billion naira and to make recourse back to the House before any regulations. The bill also recommends a fine of 100,000 naira for defaulters, 1 month incarceration in the correctional center, or 3 months community service. The Section 8 of the bill made provisions for the Coronavirus Trust Fund, and the bill also empowers the governor to declare state of emergency up to 3 months. The bill has been forwarded to the governor for assent, and the House adjourned sitting till April 2, 2020. Also on the news, the federal government is set to clinically classify cases of coronavirus infection according to their severity. This was disclosed by Minister of Health Osage Ihaniwe on Wednesday while briefing journalists in Abuja. He said 4 categories of patients had been created to prevent overcrowding at the isolation centers. He noted that 80% of those infected will have little or no symptoms, while others will have mild and moderate symptoms and some severe symptoms that require critical care. He noted that this system of classification was the reason the isolation centers were not yet overcrowded. He reaffirmed that the federal government was doing all it could to contain the pandemic and urged Nigerians to avoid self-medication. In the world of business, Aliko Dangote is now the world's 77th richest person after his net worth dropped by 2.5 billion naira in the last 30 days, according to Bloomberg Billionaires Index. The index, which ranked the world's richest people, showed that his wealth fell from $15.9 billion as of February 25, 2020 to $13.4 billion on March 26. He, however, remained the only Nigerian on the list of 500 billionaires and retained his position as Africa's richest person. According to Bloomberg, Dangote controls Dangote Industries, a closely held conglomerate. The Lagos, Nigeria-based company owns Sub-Saharan Africa's biggest cement producer, Dangote Cement, which had in revenue 901.2 billion naira in 2018. It also has interest in sugar, salt, flour, fertilizer, and packaged food. The share price of Dangote Cement PLC, the biggest listed company on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, fell by 23.71% to 129.70 naira on Thursday from 170 naira on February 25, 2020. Dangote became $4.3 billion richer in 2019, ending the decade with a net worth of almost $15 billion, making him the 96th wealthiest man in the world, according to the index. And finally on the news, an aircraft operated by Air France KLM on Thursday arrived at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, for the evacuation of some Europeans. It was gathered that the flight, which also left the same day, got special approval from the Ministry of Aviation for the exercise. The management of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, through its verified Twitter handle on Thursday afternoon, tweeted that there would be a special repatriation flight and that the aircraft would come in from Cotonou, Benin Republic for the operation. The ministry, however, ordered the airline to operate strictly based on the protocol guiding such operations such as COVID-19. The pilots and crew were not allowed to disembark, and after facilitation, the nationals were escorted to the aircraft to board. And this is how much we can take on the news at this hour. Thank you for joining us.